Hey, family, welcome to another exciting day. But even better than that, it is another platform opportunity. I'm your host, Carol Coco Diggs, and you know already that my media twin Lynn is definitely behind the scenes working as we normally do to kick with a bang and a blast. So sit tight. You already know who's coming today. Yeah, I've been rocking this shirt for a while, showing everybody. We so excited to see our guest today. So you never know what is going to happen on the platform. But sit tight, stay tuned, and get ready. So Lynn will be coming on a bit on audio or what have you. So y'all look forward to learning more about what we're doing and everything. And we're just going to have a great time. Today we have film producers and actors. So y'all know about that entertainment thing. We love to do what we do. And I think we're pretty good at it. So uh, definitely we will have also special guest, actor and teacher, Mervin Alexander, who goes by Merv most of the time. So he'll be on audio too with us, talking about some of the things he does in regards to the master's class in acting that he has going on and has actually done at the Las Vegas Black Film Fest. So we'll chat in with him a little bit and see how, what's going on, what's up to speed with everybody. We hope you're doing good and you're doing positive things, being your extraordinary selves. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Let's just kind of bring on our special guest today because every is a special guest. And then, uh, y'all know I'm going to bring on my twin. Okay, so that's Lynn. We have everybody on the screen now. Merv has been introduced. And what do you have to say for us as we start out?
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining. Please forgive my
Maybe a little
video
audio delay.
unappearance. So, Carol and myself are all just here to have a good time, and you guys all know me as Just Lynn from Sapphire Entertainment and Industry Highlighter Magazine. We have been on a great mission in changing the media game with this platform. So, we're doing something that we feel is a brilliant idea, carefully that is thought through, and constantly we're talking about it, just every day talking about it. Uniquely designed to bring you virtual networking and visual promotion that I find will be valuable resources from across many different social media platforms. So we want to allow you extraordinary people who are doing extraordinary things to be highlighted. So as an executive assistant, interviewer, and among many other titles, I welcome each and one of you to the platform. At this time, we'd like to give you guys a chance to give a pre-introduction of yourself, and we're going to go counterclockwise. So be sure to promote yourself and give us a virtual interview that will be extraordinary. So together, me and Carol Coco Diggs and I are putting all these materials together to build this platform and run it in some way as an online networking community. You know, something like a family that gets together and just give out domino effects to help bring the highlights of what everybody is doing. So our vision here on the platform is to enhance many relationships of virtual networking and promoting. So let the promotions begin. Ms. Giggs?
Okay, so basically on my screen, because it might look a little bit different to y'all, I'm not exactly sure, but here on my screen, start with Marcus first and Felicity Fernando. and we'll go from there. So, I guess the floor is yours.
Hey, everybody. First of all, let me just thank you, we both,
Hey.
Coco and Lynn, for the platform, for having me on today. You guys have been such a strong support of my work and of my journey. I got to attend the Las Vegas Film Festival last year, where my film Heaven's Revenge was was nominated for Best Actor, and my co-star and co-executive producer, Lanice Adams, was also nominated for Best Actress. Since that time, we just kept it moving, and just so much more has been happening. Just to let everybody know, again, when they see my name is Marcus Hamm. I'm based out in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California. I have been acting for about 20 or so years. Started out my career as a professional wrestler. These past several years, pretty much since 2020, I have kind of elevated to filmmaker. I've been an actor, producer, director, writer of several award-winning projects, including a fan film short called The Black League of Superheroes, which has won about 27 awards to date. Also Heaven's Revenge, which I just mentioned. That's won about 9 or 10 awards in the festival circuits. And now we have a second project that my boy Fernado Marrero is a part of. This is also a fan film. It's called Triggered. It's a superhero fan film that we put together just a couple weeks ago, and we're in post-production. This one is just going to be huge. I expect that it's going to get all, seen all through the comic cons, and just get a real big excitement built up for it. So look out for that. Also got a couple other big things going on, including some acting training that we started out here for actors for film and television. So that's where I'm at right now. We just did our last one and looking to do another one this month. And from there, I'll let the next guest go.
All right, Felicity, you got if any not speaking, so that it'll be clear for everybody else.
Hi, my name is Felicity. I'm an actress, biggest actress. I want to thank Lynn and Coco for the this is amazing. Day one, my girl, I love thank you guys so much. So yeah, I'm a Las Vegas actress. I've been acting since I was a kid. I started theater in school and through college, and then when I moved to Vegas about 2 years ago, I started a year after that. I'm the 9th annual Las Vegas Black Film Festival Actor Showdown. I have films dropping. I have a passion on Tubi. October 15th. I just arrived in LA October, and then when I was out to film a western, and then the film from the festival and everyone knows next year. That's pretty much it about me. I'm 2 years old. My passion is something that I've always wanted to do. Is something that I'm doing. That's pretty much it. And pass the mic to the next guest.
Okay.
Hello.
Sure, if
Hello,
everybody
everybody.
else heard it, but once again, if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. All right, Fernando.
Yes, good morning. Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? The world. My name is Fernando Marrero, actor, producer, stuntman. had the privilege and opportunity to meet Miss Lynn back at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival earlier this year. Had a short film that was being screened there. Had the opportunity to come across some familiar faces as well. You know, my brother from another, you know, right there, Mr. Marcus Hamm. He had a film there as well. Me and him, we go back some years, back to our professional wrestling days. A little bit about my background. Ex-military. Originally, I'm from, excuse me, I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm a Philly boy out here in the West Coast, you know, navigating these industry streets. Ex-military, from the military, went on to become a professional mixed martial arts cage fighter, and did that for about a decade, won a couple world titles, and then transitioned to the world of professional wrestling. And hence, ergo, that's where I met Mr. Hamm, and he's a phenomenal performer, talent, athlete, mind for the business, and just, you know, a jack of all trades, a modern day Renaissance man, if you will. And just went on from that. And because of professional wrestling, that was the platform, the catalyst in my career that basically just blew the door open for Hollywood. And my very first project was an Adam Sandler film called Sandy Wexler. Back in 2016, we filmed it. It was released in 2017. It's still actually currently on Netflix. It's a Netflix film. And basically, I got in as a stuntman, and it was a professional wrestling sequence and matches with other wrestlers from the academy that we were at, Knox Pro Training Academy, under Salofa Fatu, aka better known as Rikishi in the WWE world and universe in that realm. And yeah, excuse me. But yeah, no, that was it. And then, you know, that got me Taft Hartley and got me SAG, and, you know, so you know what? And that was in 2016. So I've only been a professional actor for the last several years or so. And got representation, hit the ground running, really honed the craft, and got serious about it. And I don't have a performing arts theater background or anything like that. Again, you know, my background, you know, ex-military to professional athlete to now, you know, professional actor. And, you know, did a series of acting classes and intensives, but it was very extensive and ongoing for a number of years, about 4 or 5 years, with Choice Skinner from the Breaking Through Acting Workshop. Was based out of Sherman Oaks, California, which is in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. And you know, shout out to Choice, and, you know, they really helped me hone the craft and develop, you know, my acting chops, and really, you know, tap in and, you know, utilize my instrument, if you will. And that's pretty much about me. And you know, looking to network, and you know, glad to be on this platform. You know, seeing some familiar faces. I had the opportunity and pleasure to meet Miss Felicity as well back at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. Phenomenal artist and actress, and, you know, with her monologues, just, you know, blowing everybody away. You know, monologue champ, gang, you know what I mean, doing big things all day, every day. And, you know, but everybody else, just glad to be here, and looking forward to, you know, collaborating at some point. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Great job. Wow. Brian, I believe you are next. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your introduction.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. My name is Byran Bostic, producer, director. Is Professional Hood Entertainment. Lynn at the Vegas Black Film Festival. Pussy Control, the story of that was playing up there. It did best comedy. It's continued well in most film festivals. Proud of that. And with movies, we got a that's on the way right now. It's another comedy. So out pretty soon. We're doing the actor that September. So on our site, Pro Hood Ian at on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, pretty much just continue to do and go travel and festivals, meet new people, and continue to do, like we just finished in in Atlanta. Um, we finished Atlanta not too long ago, early August, and I don't know, you to make continue on in the filming. That's it.
Okay, okay. Well, awesome. That is wonderful. I
Now we
love
also have
each of you and learning more about doing. Go ahead.
Mr. Merv Alexander, who is on audio. So we're going to go ahead and give him that opportunity to introduce himself. Mr. Alexander, if you go ahead and give your introduction, everybody is listening to you on audio.
I so apologize. First of all, I'm having these technical difficulties, but I am so humbled and honored to be in each and every one of you guys present. The rise of the Black actors and actresses coming up and doing our works has just been just an extraordinary ride for all concerned. A little bit about myself. I am so honored and humbled to be in each and every one of you presents, and the moderators as well. A little bit about myself. I'm born and raised originally from Brooklyn, New York. I have worked in so many community theaters, off Broadway, and finally Broadway. My first love is always theater. I have worked in with the Negro Ensemble Company. I've been with them since I was like in my early 20s up until I was about 30. I've met so many great actors and performers along my journey. I just enjoy the camaraderie with actors and how we share our thoughts and ideas and how we feel and touching on social subjects along the way. I currently live in Las Vegas. I am currently on a tour. We just did a 6-city tour and we're getting ready to go back out on tour with the show called American Son. So we've done some filming. I've got a couple of films in the works right now coming up. But as you each know, every experience is new. Every experience is just you can't wait to dive in. I've met, I believe, Lynn at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival, and she has just been so instrumental in pulling this all together for me. I was the masterclass teacher, which was just a great experience for me at the time, meeting so many great actors, up and coming actors. So I'm hoping to kind of recreate that today if technology allows us to do so. And let's just have some fun. I just enjoy you guys. I appreciate that you guys are taking the time with me. So let's just have some fun.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we continue, everybody knows that I'm always expressing being able to promote yourselves and give that representation of who you are as an individual. So it is very important to me that everybody is heard very clearly. So I don't want to move further with this platform until that is
Mhm.
what happens here. I noticed that we were having a little technical difficulties. So I wanted to, just like I just did, Merv, I'm always trying to figure out how to make things happen. So we had to put Merv on audio. Felicity, I want to backtrack real quick to give her that opportunity to be heard. Um, that way her voice is heard clearly, because it's very important that all of you guys are highlighted and that your light is shined. So, Felicity, I'm going to have you pause your microphone, and I'm going to call you on an audio really quick on just like I did Mr. Merv. That way your voice is heard. And I'm very passionate about putting this out for each and every one of you, and I appreciate you guys being here. But my whole goal is to get you guys highlighted. So if I can, I'm going to put Mr. Alexander on hold, and Felicity, go ahead and mute your mic and prepare to join me really quick here through your Facebook. Are you
And
okay?
while she's
We're gonna
making that call, you got okay.
Felicity is with us by audio.
Hey,
Okay.
everybody. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my computer. I have to switch like a couple different from Safari to Chrome to phone. But thank you, Lynn, for putting me on the audio so that I could matter of fact, let me turn this down so it doesn't echo. Okay.
Good job.
So Lynn for having me. Okay, this audio is not.
It's okay. We just want you to shine.
Okay. So basically, my name is Felicity Annalise. I am an actress. I started acting when I was a child. Like I would go outside and do skits with my friends and stuff. And then when I got to high school, I started to do theater. And then when I got to college, I continued my theater. I moved to Las Vegas, not with the plan to act, but a year in, I realized that the film industry was bigger than where I was from. So I started my film acting. And it's really just been like a dream for me. It feels like chasing your dreams it feels so good. It's the best type of joy you can have. I encourage everyone to chase their dreams. But it's been a long journey. It's been an amazing journey. I won the 9th annual Las Vegas Black Film Festival Actors Showdown monologue competition. That was awesome for me. Um, so what I have coming up next, my first feature film I have coming up next is called Sudden Passion, directed by Bobby Renee Peoples. It will be on Tubi September 6th. It will also be on a couple other platforms. And then I also have another one coming up called To the Hard Way that will also be on Tubi and other platforms. I just wrapped a film in Los Angeles called Lowest Places Lost Time. I'm not sure when it's gonna hit the screen, but we're gonna have a premiere for it in October. And then I'm really, really excited about filming the lead role that I won from the showdown. The movie will be called Distraction. So I'm excited for y'all to hear about that, see that. So
Okay.
if
Never mind.
watching, just know you'll be able to see that film real soon too. And then I also have another film that I'm going to shoot in South Carolina. It's a western, and so it's just really been taking down these auditions by storm, getting casted, and just chasing my dreams. Right now, I'm just trying to shape up on my craft. I know that training is necessary. I grew up with a lot of natural talent, but I'm trying to shape up on my craft and get the training needed before I start to shoot for the on-screen roles and getting an agent that can get me those auditions. So right now, I'm just doing all the work that I can do, all the independent work I can do, getting the training, getting the experience, getting the networking in, and it's just been awesome. And I thank you, Lynn and Coco, once again for allowing me to come on this platform and just showcase my talent. So thank you guys so much, and
You're
thank you again, Lynn, for
welcome.
letting me redo this. So,
That's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. Unfortunately, we have two other guests that will not be joining us. due to some personal situations and prior engagement that ended up popping up unexpectedly. So please forgive their absence, which would be later um, showcased on the next platform. But we still want to give them their acknowledgement for trying to be here. Um, it's hard as actors and film producers to just stop because you guys are always on the move, and which is very understandable. So we want to give them that respect that they were trying, but things happen. So we're going to make sure we highlight them regardless for even making the attempt to be here. So from this point, Miss Diggs, I'll let you take over.
All right. Well, just a little bit about me. My name is Carol Coco Diggs, President and CEO of Sapphire Entertainment and Media, as well as the Industry Highlighter magazine. We, but I involved in so just kind of media going behind the scenes to celebrity and be all kinds of different entertainment arenas. We just opened up to music, Lynn. Now, um, everybody never the kind of involved, even in our own acting and that we have, hosting events, network events, which will share those are moving forward 2020, so forth. But the company itself was birthed through my love and my passion for entertainment and music. I believe that artists should have an opportunity to have positive representation. There's so much going on now where it blows your mind to even think about some of the negativity and things that are going on within the industry. So we wanted to be those game changers, those positive women that will definitely change the media game, but also those people that you will feel comfortable in working with, and knowing that we come with truth, we come with your best interests at heart, and we want to make sure that everybody shines and are able to succeed and make their money in the most. That's pretty much what I'm all about. And we've connected because together, that's what we're all about. And as we just kind of move forward with the magazine, we're always putting at a media spin of giving you the entertainment news, but also traveling. Arizona exists, and another place you have fun. We want to know that all of and entertainment and things. So, Martin Marcus was born working together when you're acting in that you may not want to touch. So we want to and it's healthy as well. Market insurance and need something, you already have the connections of who to contact. So whatever you need, we got you. But in a nutshell, that is me and what I like to do. So I think now it's time for questions, right, Lynn? Am I on the right? Because my executive keeps me
You are
straight, y'all.
Stop it. Yes, it is time for a few questions. So I'm gonna let Miss Diggs start off with some questions that she wants to ask, and then I will proceed if you guys are ready.
Okay, we're gonna bring Fernando back. There we
Got
go.
everybody? Fernando disappearing on us.
He the back. Okay, let's
All
see. So
right.
on my screen, I have Fernando, Brian, Mark, and Felicity.
And I have Merv.
Okay, my first question is good, excellent. Hey, Merv, glad you. So my first question is, as a producer, executive producer, or filmmaker, how hard is it for you to establish, be comfortable with your cast and crew? That one will actually go to Brian.
As far as
You
the
want me
question,
to
how is
repeat?
it? Uh, cast and crew.
Hmm. How do you establish trust or get everybody to be comfortable when you're first starting to begin the filming process? People.
Uh, well, a lot of my cast and crew, we've been 4 years now. A lot, I use the same people. So beginning, it was just it wasn't difficult. Like you have to treat people like you treat them with respect, and you respect, and I respect my uh say my grind, but like they respect my attitude. They they see that I'm not just shooting stuff to like a 12 movies. I'm like acting myself out there and get them in the same. And then they tell who are acting, and then and now we got a whole that just want to put out there in the industry. It took a while. It took a gain trust, but all start rolling. They start seeing, know that I put my films in. They're getting seen. We're all working together. So it took beginning, but now it's we just when
Okay.
we get new people. I don't know if it's still that's it.
I think we can hear you now.
Oh, it wasn't.
It went out when you said when we get new people.
Well, it keeps going. Dang. I see.
Okay. We want you to be able to put your best foot forward as well. So then I'm gonna let you see what kind of magic you could work over there. And in the meantime, I'm gonna ask Marcus that same question. So I believe you act and produce. Am I correct?
You are correct. Can you hear me?
Okay, okay. So
Yes, yes.
I
Uh,
can hear you.
yeah. So for me, meeting a lot of actors, similarly, when I work with people, it's usually from having established a connection over the years, having networked, having worked on other projects together. But there's also times when, I have to reach out for new actors, and it is a very organic process. I don't like doing casting calls for shorts, not because I don't think that they are a good concept. I just think that when you are producing independent projects, you really have to kind of treat it more like a family project. You know what I mean? So I don't really want to put it out there where people from like out of state or people who have kind of like these expectations that this is going to be like some major film production is happening. So it's more, working with other, like for example, my Black League of Superheroes project. When I shot that originally, I was the only actor. I played 5 different superheroes in one project, and it expanded. And when it expanded, I filmed additional scenes, and I worked with people that I knew to do some stunt work, and played the character Blade, and we had a really cool fight sequence. But then there's a scene where I play Spawn, and I needed extra actors. And Fernando mentioned Troy Skinner and his acting workshop, and I was very highly connected with that group, and I knew that if I ever needed anyone, I had to go there. And Miss Joan Moten was the first person that I went to, and she actually helped with casting the additional roles for that, who also were members of that workshop, came on board, including Larry Banks. Um, and then from there, it's always kind of like that same organic chemistry. Fernando, as he mentioned, me and him have gone way back, and it's been great that we've finally been having the opportunity after several years to start working on projects together. Me and him both star in a really, really important project called The Sins, Seminole Indian Negro Scouts. And that's directed by Lovey Ray Johnson, who was also in attendance for his short film, The
Yes.
Sins. Um, and that was screened at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. And, even with that, the way that the casting went there, since Lovey saw me on Black League of Superheroes, he brought me on board, said, hey, you're doing the same thing I'm doing. Let's work together. And we all came on board. And Fernando, it was a no-brainer. He was brought in, and we continue to just expand on, like, we're basically building a whole culture, a whole crew of repeat artists, kind of similar to the Happy Madison kind of production company, where we just will keep putting each other in each other's projects, because we're consistently showing that we're here to do the work. We bring top quality performances, and in turn, we're going to continue to work together.
Yeah, I love that. I think that that's very, very important. But not only that, it keeps you from spending a whole lot of time looking for talent when you have a hole that's there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's
Exactly.
other people out there who would love to be in the mix with you guys, but that's definitely a grand way to start, because you already know you have great people who are passionate about it and that have the talent to do so. So the same question somewhat for Fernando and Felicity. Um, how did you establish trust? I understand that you guys have worked together before, which is excellent. But what did you say maybe your most challenging moments were, or 3 of your most challenging obstacles were?
Um, it's I guess how do we trust? Well, me and brother Marcus, again, we go way back. Long before. I mean, he's been in the acting game for a lot longer than I've been, and long before I got involved in it. And he's also been in the professional wrestling industry long before I ever got in it. Like, he's my OG. He's like my big bro, big homie, whatever. And definitely, he's such a consummate professional. At everything that he does with his approach to everything. It's always about business and, getting things done and doing it right and doing it professionally. And, with Marcus, any and everything's a no-brainer. And like you said earlier, to piggyback on what you said earlier about, like Judd Apatow and, Seth Rogen and Adam Sandler, Happy Madison, you keep using the same, individuals and the same talent, how some people would love to be in the mix with us or whatever. And you got so many great performers who give great performances, but the thing is, the key thing, are they reliable? You know what I mean? And that's the thing with this core group of
Mhm. Oh, he was doing so good. I think he froze up for just a second. All right. So I think we get the idea. And hopefully he'll be unfrozen in a little bit. I think, Marcus, what were your three most challenging? Um, well, yeah,
Three most challenging.
challenging in the industry, we'll say.
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
Three of the most challenging obstacles you've had thus far
Oh, yeah.
within the industry.
Well, the number one challenge always is getting funding for your projects. I mean, that's you know, Hollywood alone, but you know, the industry as a whole. I mean, we have folks here right now based out of Vegas and out of LA. Um, it's really tough to make a name for yourself to the point where people are willing to invest in you. It's not necessarily because they don't believe in you or because they don't think that you're producing quality product. It's just simply that there's a large talent pool, and there's also a lot of stories out here that don't have the best of outcomes, even with some major productions. I mean, we hear constantly about, multi-million-dollar projects that don't make a box office. So it's very tough, especially these days, to get funding from sources who are, seeking a return on their investment, because it's just very challenging to be able to confirm that you are going to be able to do so. So that's really why I'm putting so much effort and emphasis on building my brand, building my name. Fan films you don't make money off of, but they obviously contain characters that are very well known, which increases the potential of kind of capturing a larger audience. Larger audience um, aren't just watching it for the characters, they also are watching it for the people who are playing them. And if they're watching it and they're loving what they're seeing, they're going to continue to watch even when it's projects that don't contain those characters. So that was one of the main influences for why I do those, because often people ask me, well, what's the point if you're not going to make money? There's a long-term goal there. So you just have to be really creative, because that obstacle is not going to go away, even if you do produce major films that are successful. That's always a challenge. I mean, I've seen personally Spike Lee begging for money in meetings. You know what I mean? Like, people who have
Wow.
established their names in this industry still have to fight for every new project, especially if it's not a project that was kind of handed to them by a production company. We all have kind of our passion projects and things that we really want to do, and then we have these things that we're commissioned to do. And that's another thing that really is important, is putting yourself out there for hire. I mean, it is a business, and we do other jobs so that we can continue to do this job. So you can't turn down opportunity to do work that someone else may be passionate about, because making their project successful only builds your brand further. So that's another key thing that I would try to do. I've actually just directed my first music video with a gentleman by the name of Britt Prentice. Um, Goes by the
Oh,
name
wow.
Chubby Swagger, and he is an incredible singer, and he's old school soul. And we just won our first award from the Red Dragon Awards for Best Music Video. So that's just an example, just putting him out there, and in turn, I'm putting myself out there as a director, as a writer. Um, so aside from that, other obstacles is like Fernando mentioned, finding people who you can trust, people who are dependable. Um, this project I just did, Triggered, we were supposed to shoot that back in April. Total redo of the
Wow.
script, total redo of the set designs and everything, and it turned into a much, much better product than what I think we would have put out if we had done it the original way. But in order for that to happen, these actors had to be available. They had to be patient. They had to, stay ready. They had to get themselves physically in shape, because this is a superhero project. And everyone showed up at their very best. And I was just completely in awe of that night that we filmed because it was unexpected. I mean, even to the day before, one of the leads, and my co-executive producer, his name is Stephen James Tingus. He has a disability, and he's been an advocate for disability rights. You know, me and him we've gone back since 2017 and been working very hard to get him on. And I was thankful that he was able to come on board. He had literally just had a major medical issue come up prior to our shoot, and he would stay in contact with me all the way to the day of and just confirm I will be there. And he showed up and he did it all. I mean, it was just incredible. And the entire cast came through. Everyone knew their lines. Everybody looked exactly the way they needed to look to make this, project successful and make people look at it and say, this is top notch, But it really takes people to have that patience, that respect for you, respect for your work. I heard so many great things about the quality of the script, quality of the production. So I do anticipate that it is going to be very successful. But that's what it takes, and it really comes down to you making sure that you stay in contact with people and that you show them the respect. I never treat an actor like anything other than a human being, person I care about, person that I value for what they were willing to do for me. I mean, it's asking. You can't really put a price on what it is that you get out of someone who's willing to take the time to study lines, to show up to rehearsals, to show up on set, to just go all out. You can't really give them what they deserve for that. So I can do is just continue to work with them and add them to new projects and keep thanking them and hope that you do get those millions one day.
Most definitely. I think Felicity, Lynn, you to kind of chime her in for a second on at least a portion of the questions.
All right, there we go. Felicity,
Yes.
can you guys hear her?
We can hear it's just an echo, and I'm not sure why. It must be another device on too. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I think she might have to sit back a little bit.
Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what was my question?
The same question.
Challenging. What are my biggest challenges in this industry?
And how do you gain trust?
I would say a challenge is when in the independent world, it's like you see these auditions, these casting calls, and if you've never worked with this person, it's kind of hard to know how dedicated they are to their own project. Sometimes I've been on a lot of sets. I've got a lot of roles, and I get to set, and I'm waiting 4 or 5 hours, or they reschedule the day before, and then they want to hit you 3 weeks later out of nowhere, like, hey, are you available today? It's just a lot of times I feel like we all have the right idea, but we don't have, maybe it could be the lack of knowledge, it could be the lack of training experience, but it's just kind of like a game sometimes, because I've also got casting projects and then they're like, we can't do it. We're going to close the project. We're not going to do it. Or I'm going to cast you in something else. And it's like, well, I dedicated my time to auditioning, reading the script, the character, and then now things change. And sometimes it's like getting deeper. A lot of times people don't have things in order. And then you think like, well, next time, if we get it together, I will come back and I can work. But I have a lot of things going on. I'm a single mother. I'm 23. I have a single mother of a 6-year-old. I'm in Las Vegas. I don't have any family out here, so I don't have any support. It's just me. So I can't really like waste my time. Like, this is my passion, and if I pick up a role, I want to actually deliver and be able to do that. I don't like when I put my time and my efforts out, and then just bam, it was for nothing. And that happens a lot out here, and specifically Las Vegas. A lot of people will say that a lot of people are not serious out here. But other than that, I still push forward. I try my best to ignore, not to ignore the red flags and stuff. But overall, it's been kind of good. The more that I do it, the more that I bounce around and network, it's kind of easier to know who's good to work with, who's bad news. Getting a lot of friends in the industry, a lot of actor friends in the industry who worked around, and we can. It's just kind of like the same thing that producers do when they're trying to cast an actor. They'll ask their producer friend, "Hey, what do you think about this person?" I've had that happen to me multiple times. And it's kind of the same with actors. Like, have you worked with them before? Because when it's an unpaid project and they're, requesting a certain amount of time, you don't want your time to be wasted, especially if it's your passion. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would probably be my biggest challenge out here, specifically in Las Vegas, in the industry. And then gaining trust. It's all about deliverance, professionalism, um, you can tell when people are about their stuff. And like one example I would say is like Bobby and Renee people that make you feel like family, and then they're professional about their work. They deliver. You can you can look them up and see the things that they do. It's just like all around, like those type of things are green flags for me. Those are good signs for me, and I like when I can see that in other people. Also, energy is another thing. I feel like being on set with folks when it's a pay project or union based, and you got to do what you got to do. It's work. But when it's independent, like Marcus was saying, it's more family based. So you don't want to be on set and not be able to trust, and it's just how the independent world works. So when it comes to gaining trust, it's just about seeing those people deliver and their professionalism and their grind and respecting that and knowing that you can put your trust in them.
Awesome,
I think
awesome, awesome.
we was having a
That
little
is great.
feedback.
Yes.
I don't know if everybody could hear Felicity very well. Hopefully you did. I don't know if you guys were receiving any feedback.
Very well said, Felicity.
Okay. I
We
just want to
were,
make
but
sure.
we could understand what she was saying for the most part.
Okay. So I guess we'll pass that same question if you might want to repeat, Ms. Diggs, for Mr. Alexander.
Oh yeah, and very well
Yes.
said. You want to respond to the trust issue and the
Guess he got it.
challenges. Very well outlined, Felicity. Very well outlined. I've heard of you being here, also based here in Las Vegas. So, looking forward to working with you at some point in time. Wow. My journey has been more of a spiritual type of journey for me in the business. First of all, let me state I'm 62 years old. I started in my early teens, late 20s, mostly in New York, in theater. And I came out to Vegas. I was probably 28, 29 years old when I decided to come out to Vegas. And ultimately, I met my wife, and I had three sons that I raised. I've always had a medical background, a background in orthopedics. So I worked at the local hospital here for 30 years. Uh, Spiritually, I was able to continue to work over the years that I was raising my children. And I retired. I worked in a very intense environment, trauma here for the last 20 years. I worked in trauma at UMC Hospital here, the local hospital here. I retired in 2019. Now, during this journey, I, like a lot of actors, was becoming impatient. I was becoming disappointed. This is the business of no. Okay, so I understand that, I recognize that, but I would often pray to God, like, when is this going to happen for me? Is it going to happen? And everyone's telling me it's great, I'm great, but when is it actually going to happen? And I can very honestly say, and spiritually say, that I heard God just tell me have patience. I've lived by patience all my life now. And when I finally retired from the hospital, Again, I've been doing shows over the years, 1 or 2 major shows a year. When I retired from the hospital, at this time my boys are grown, they have their own families. I'm an empty nester now, and a very supportive wife who said, hey, go for it now. I retired in 2019, of February. My first show since I retired in 2019 was November of 2019, and I have not stopped working since. So I feel blessed. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are, especially in the independent world. Yes, there are, a lot to be desired. But, I mean, we still have to keep the focus on us. These are just the challenges that it's only going to make us stronger, I believe. You're going to run across a lot of things in this business. Again, this is the business of no. But what is your result? What is your passion? It's your passion. In other words, I don't count on anyone else making this an experience for me. You know what I'm saying? I want to draw on my experiences from this project. I want to draw on, I want to be able to, give whatever I got to give. And if it doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to, that's okay. Because I put the work in. We put the work in. We put the work in. And this is what it is all about. It's our passion. We put the work in. We don't know why we do this thing. This thing got us. We didn't ask for this thing. Okay, but we're gifted. We're blessed to be able to do. And again, the challenges, the obstacles that we face along the way, it's only going to make us stronger. It's only going to make our resolve stronger. And again, I'm 62 years old. I still feel the same way about this that I felt at 18, 19. Every project is new. Everything is brand new in my life when I get on the set. I still have the love and the drive and the initiative, no matter what the role is. And when I say no matter what the role is, if it's worthy work, I still feel the same way I felt when I was 19 or 18 years old. So it's just the obstacles we're going to face, these challenges we're going to face, these peaks and valleys that's ahead of us. It's what's your resolve? It's you pushing through it. It's your love. It's your gift. You have a voice and something to say. And we're going to be heard. It may not come when we want it. It may not happen exactly the day we want it. But trust and believe you're going to be heard. So I take all these ill experiences and put them in my mental Rolodex. And I just use that because the next project is going to be great. The next project I'm going to be able to pull from something that I've already been in. The next set is going to be great. Oh, no, it's not great, but that's okay because it's my passion. And I want to be there and I have a voice. So I'm kind of like a half full kind of guy, glass is half full instead of a glass is half empty. And that's how I look at life. And like I said, for me to be blessed at 62 years old, to still have this passion and this love and this drive, I can't put it into words. So when I hear young actors, well, this project wasn't great, that director wasn't great, it's like, use it, man. Use it for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. You're a writer, write. You're a producer, freaking produce. You know what I'm saying? But keep pushing because this thing we do, it's a purpose. We have a purpose. And people have to hear our voice. Our voices have to be heard. Push through. Push through. Push through.
Amen. Amen. Y'all heard that, right? Everybody here, y'all heard that. Keep pushing. Push through.
Amen.
So now I have a couple of questions for you guys. My first question is this. In your own opinion and experience in entertainment from your childhood up until today, how do you see or what do you see that has changed in the entertainment field? Fernando?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Let's try this again. A lot of things have changed in the entertainment field. I think quality of content, for the good and for the bad, on both ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems like that there's a lot of fluff as far as content is out, in my opinion, right now. Not a lot of content that has a lot of depth, and it's just a lot of fluff. And I would love to see people like really go there or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess it's just my taste, and different strokes for different folks. But like for instance, I was really into Game of Thrones and that whole franchise, and they just had, I guess the prequel that came out, House of the Dragon, and there was mixed reviews about it or whatever. Me personally, I thought it was phenomenally done. From the cinematography, to the acting, to the storylines and everything else, and something like that with that type of story, like it has to be visceral. And there were some visceral scenes in the first episode that kind of like threw everybody back, like, whoa, like what did we just see right here? You know what I mean? But again, that's the brand, that's the content, that it's hitting for. So and then you also too, one thing that I'm noticing as well, and I'm sure you guys probably can attest the same, that they're doing a lot of reboots. It's like Hollywood, like they have, pretty much they become, void of ideas. Like they're just, I don't know. I mean, and I think that would be, a prime, opportunity to give that platform to up and coming, unknown showrunners and writers and, people in the writers' room to really have the opportunity to really showcase, who they are and what they do and what they can do. And there's a lot of talented people out there, and same thing with actors, whatever. Sometimes you get, the same, number one on the call sheet, number two, number three, number five, always or whatever, same top guys, top gals or whatever. But at some point, when do some of the deserving, individuals get the opportunity? But that's just hey, the nature of the game. You just got to keep going, and you got to take your moment. You never know when your moment's coming, but when it does, you'll identify it, you'll recognize it, and you have to jump on it. And you got to be fearless. You know what I mean? You really got to jump on it.
And Marcus, how would you answer that question?
Turn my volume back on. So for me, sorry, what was the question again? I was still thinking about the last one. What was the question again?
That's okay. In your opinion, from growing up in your childhood, watching movies, to
The
what you
biggest changes?
today, what are the biggest changes from then and now that you see
Oh,
in your
yeah.
own opinion?
For me, I feel like, I mean, I think every generation feels like they grew up in the best of times, I mean, I'm still an old head. I still prefer watching classic movies. Fernando mentioned remakes. I like some remakes. I think there's a certain type of remake that can be done that tributes the original and actually can be enjoyed as much as the original. But I'll be honest, I really do feel like we live in a time now where the best of work is in the past. And I don't think that's going to stay the case, but I think that there is a generational shift that needs to happen. I feel like movies today are just trying too hard to recreate things that have already happened instead of creating kind of like their own uniqueness, their own newness, their own uh, generational timestamp that you can look at and say, I've never seen anything like this before. And part of that, I think, is because of the technological changes. CGI kind of has become the new deal. I mean, I feel like CGI is being used in ways that are not necessary. I feel like I watch movies and I'm seeing, like, if you watch a Marvel movie, you realize that like 90% of the time, these characters are just wearing suits with green, uh, dots all over them, just so you can see them wearing a costume that should just be latex. I mean, like spandex. Like it doesn't make sense. Some of the excessive use of it, because I think it, as cool as those effects are, they do uh, create a challenge for the actors. And obviously, for independents, we can't compete with that kind of technology. We can't use that type of technology. Some of that stuff is possible, even at this independent level. But when you're watching it on screen, it's almost like they're just on stage. There's actually nothing there. Avatar, um, any of these movies that have like these really uh, grandiose kind of scenery. It's really just them standing in a room with a big giant green backdrop, and they're adding all this stuff after the fact with computers. And for an actor, that's not cool. I mean, I'd rather be taken to the Amazon and get to film like on location than just to show up at a studio and, get a helmet put on me and, have to kind of like control my motions because the systems aren't designed to handle certain things at too high of a speed. So, I mean, bottom line is when it comes to films in this time frame, I think we just need people to kind of turn off what they've already seen and just try to focus on creating new work, but maybe using practical effects, maybe using kind of practical ideas. There's certain things, dramas, they don't really change. This is stories about love and life. But I do think, culturally, we have changed, especially because of technology, social media, things like that. So implementing kind of what's creating this kind of new culture into your stories, so that they make sense to this generation. I think that's a really important thing to do. I'm in a movie that's on Tubi right now called Heaven's Revenge. And speaking of remakes, it's a tribute to movies like Fatal Attraction and Misery. But a big element of the movie is about social media. It's about the fact that my character has a phone that has all these DMs coming through, and one of the most key scenes is when she's able to finally unlock my phone and get access to all that information, and that's kind of what spirals, what's already a bad situation into like the worst of circumstances. So just getting creative, getting original in your writing. Try not to just redo what someone else did, but actually just trying to do something. Be a pioneer in your storytelling is like I think the key.
Well, y'all, as we hit so many different points that were excellent that I think everybody really wanted to share, to know about, and so forth. And we had this beautiful game all set up for y'all and everything. I think as far as everything is concerned, we did hit the nail on the head. The one thing that we do want to do is allow Felicity to answer her question. And then I think Lynn had one more question. But we have exactly what, one, two, three, four. I don't know. I'm gonna toss that one in the air and and allow Lynn and Merv to see who will get this specific. I think we have maybe 3 prizes away, which will probably end up being enough for everybody. Or just for being here and being so great, each of you may get a prize. I feel like Oprah. You get a prize, you get a prize, and you get a prize. Works out for me. So
I
Lynn,
like
I'm
that
gonna turn it
idea.
over to you. And what? Hey, so whatever y'all decide to do as we begin to wrap things up, it is all good with me. I just wanted to say this one piece, and then I love all of y'all. But coming up next Saturday here in my neck of the woods, which is the Raleigh Durham Triad, North Carolina area, we have an event coming up called Cook and Sip, which is hosted by myself actually, but Miss Trively Ellis will be in the building putting together this event with special guest Leonora Cohen, which is a new in North Carolina. So for those of you who are in North Carolina, that event is a mix and mingle networking type of event with authors, entertainers, music network, and vendors, the whole 9 yards. You can get your tickets now, $5 on Eventbrite and $10 at the door. So these new businesses, these small Black businesses who are doing extraordinary things, support the authors, because guess what? The next one support you. So show up at 804 Northwest Street in Raleigh, North Carolina. Dressy casual is, if you have any questions, feel reach out to me. Both on because I'll be going to put that, and I'm going to forward to rocking and rolling all real soon.
Couldn't hear.
I think Ms. Diggs, I think you kind of muted out a little bit there. They couldn't really hear you. You kind of chopped up a little bit. If you can repeat that, please. I think she's chopping up.
I was just saying, ask Felicity her question. That was the last one. Her question.
Oh.
Felicity?
Or not.
For me, it would have to be. Let me back up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, it would have to be realizing my worth, I guess. Growing up, I knew I had this passion, but I didn't have the type of parents or family that I could depend on them to get me in those things. Like, I know a lot of people, they want to play sports, they want to play music, and they have to support them and put them in those programs or schooling or whatever. And so I didn't know if my talent was good enough or not. Like, I just knew that I loved to do it. And so when I got to high school, it was okay. When I got to college and I did theater, the first year was kind of rough because I was out of school that was kind of biased. They didn't have any Black leads at all in their theater at all. We did probably like 5 productions a year. They never cast a Black lead. And so that's when I started branching out and auditioning to theater in other colleges in my district. And that's when I started looking lead roles and I started realizing, okay, maybe that's I'm going here. And I never planned on doing theater. I always knew I wanted to do film, but growing up in Sacramento, California, there is no film, it's only theater. So I was like, I want to act. So I started acting regardless. And then when I got out here to Las Vegas, there was another question in my work because like, can I do film? Like, I know I can do theater, but can I do film? And then I started auditioning and I started booking. And it was just like, okay, I really got something going on. And then when the monologue competition came up, I was like, well, can I compete? And then winning that award, it just was like, I'm sorry, I'm emotional. It just showed me that confirmation that I'm worth something and that I'm needed here and that in this industry that I matter and that I deserve to be here. And so for me, that was my contrast as a little kid to now. And it feels great.
Great job. She got it.
Yes.
Yeah, she got the question.
So my last question, and if we can kind of keep it a little brief, because I know we're getting close to closing, and Merv is excited to give somebody a gift. So this question is, and this is something I always wanted to know personally because it was always a question in my head because I was into acting myself. As an actor or actress, we know you guys get into these different characters, these different roles, you become different people. So your personality kind of changes in front of the camera. And, you know, you develop a relationship as a father, a mother, brother, sister, just different types of characters. And it's a regular thing because you guys have to get on set constantly, months at a time, years at a time. Sometimes you have to leave your homes to become that person, lose weight and all that stuff, right? So my question is this: when you become that character, does it ever affect your everyday living when you go home and have to be that real person that you are later on, being this character for hours and hours, days and weeks and months? How does that play a role in your everyday living when you come home and have to get back into who you really are as a person that you were born to be? And we're going to start with Felicity.
So when I first started
Back it up, girl.
Back it up.
When I first started out with film, I would say, because theater was, that's a long time. Because it was character for like 3 weeks, and yeah, I don't even know how to get into that. But film, for me, it kind of was.
Well, we're not
rolling.
going to take you. Go ahead.
Right, and until once I got my first like really emotionally demanding role, which was the role I did in LA, and I realized how draining it can be to become an emotional character because you're really digging from places, and so it's kind of hard to just jump in and out of character, but it's easy with film, and you have that set day schedule, and you don't have to. I'm filming 3 days here, and then a month later I have to come back to this character. So it's easier when you have to shoot in those 5 days, or 7 days, or 10 days. So when I am able to de-roll and come out that character, I'm able to just put it behind me and just look back at the good things that I learned from it and smile, because it's what you have to do. You can't take those roles with you into your everyday life. You can't, because I feel like it'll start to mess with you. Depending on the role, for me specifically, but having that first emotionally demanding role, it's a lot. It's very draining, and you can't afford to take that with you in your everyday life. So you got to learn how to let it go, where it's at, when it's wrapped.
All right, that's interesting. Merv, what about you? Let's try to keep everything short and simple so we can get to the games.
Yeah, for me, and I guess everyone does it differently, but I can remember the time, just a clue, can remember the times I'm doing certain roles, and I'm walking around my house, rehearsing the lines, getting into character, and my kids would say, "Who are you? And who are you today, Dad?" I had to realize, I was like, okay, I gotta come out of my characters. I gotta come out of this really, kind of quickly. So it's different for every role. For me, I carry it. I do. This play we're on tour with right now, the American Son. It's very impactful. It's very emotionally impactful. So yeah, we're doing it almost every week. So, but it takes a minute for me to actually, come out of the role. What I have to do is just, put the script down. Don't wear the clothing. That you know what I mean? That's pretty much how I have to come out of it. But it takes a minute for me. Yeah. That's my response to that.
That's that theater right there.
That's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about for me. It just happens. I can come out of it, but sometimes it takes a minute. Yeah.
Okay,
Who's next?
Marcus.
Yeah, so for film, especially with independent films, our projects or shoot times are pretty short. Maybe a couple weeks, and of course, the time you invest in kind of becoming the character. I'll be honest, when I when I act, I don't call it acting. It's more like channeling. You know, the first step is to learn the lines, but after that, you're really absorbing those lines so that they can be spoken by someone else that lives inside of you. You know, I kind of grab on to parts of who I am that represents the character that I'm portraying. And for that reason, I don't take it home with me because I'm not that person. You know, it's almost like a hybrid. And when I am playing that role and I do become that character, I'm 100% that person. It's almost like multiple personality disorder or something. So when I get back home, it's more just like I think about it like it's not me. I mean, even when I watch myself on film or television, I don't see myself. I see the character that I'm playing, just living through the same body. So it's not difficult to change it, but I will say when you play a character who does go through very emotional experiences and you're tapping onto those emotional experiences to play that character, you bring those same experiences to your real life. And that's where it gets difficult. I mean, for example, I did a stage play and I played a character who was a football player who found out that he had pancreatic cancer. And I recently had lost my uncle at the time, and since then also lost my mother to cancer. So, you know, when you play a character who's experiencing something that you know that your family, people that you care about, experience, it just touches you much more deeply, makes it much more impactful in your real life. So those are the elements that you kind of keep with you, including maybe the things that are happening in the characters' stories that resemble things that you go through in your real life. So those are the parts that you kind of have to work through, and you know, kind of move on from when you come back home. But yeah, other than that, you know, the character stays with the role and with the film set or with the stage.
And Mr. Fernando, give us your.
Nah, you know, I usually try to, you know, stay, you know, early in my career, you know, real close to a lot of the characters that are very similar to various aspects of my personality and who I am, you know, even though we may be a certain kind of way as individuals, but, you know, deep down within us, I mean, if you really think about it, theoretically, we all have, you know, multiple, you know, personality disorder. It kind of goes back to when you were 5 years old, when we were a kid, we're, you know, free and, you know, careless and fearless. And, you know, we're talking to ourselves and our imagination, and it's about imagination. And as Marcus was saying about, you know, tapping into certain, you know, emotions, and, you know, you got to really tap into, you know, to give life to that character, maybe certain relative experiences, life experiences that you may have had that may, you know, be even, you know, traumatic, and, you know, that's going to translate, and you'll see that, you know, and you get a lot of people that are phenomenal artists that have a phenomenal instrument, and they can, you know, cry on cue. I mean, I'm still working on that instrument, you know, to where I can, you know, hone that ability. I got wet, you know, I got, you know, real misty eyed or whatnot a couple times, you know, on stage and all that, but that's still something that I'm working towards, you know, mastering, you know, because there's levels to this, but also too, depending on what character, you tap into, and as I progress and, you know, become more, you know, prolific, you know, as an artist within this craft, you know, I want to take on more roles that, you know, are going to be uncomfortable and outside the box and, you know, quirky and maybe, you know, sociopathic or whatever, you know what I mean? And, you know, those are things that we see in life, and we have relative experiences, family members, you know, stuff that we've seen on the news, or, you know, whatever your background is, whatever walk of life you come from, you know what I mean? But you also got to be careful, because it's like once you tap in, can you come back from that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, who's going to bring you back from that, depending on how, you know, deep and visceral and traumatic, you know, those experiences and those emotions are, you know what I mean? Like, you know, not to bring up Heath Ledger, but, you know, Heath Ledger, you know, when he played the Joker, and, you know, sometimes when you go that deep, especially with the method acting, it's a slippery slope. know what I mean? And you can very easily lose yourself. Um, but all in all, nonetheless, I mean, decompression, prayer, meditation, therapy. I'm a huge proponent for therapy. Talk to somebody. Whatever you need to do, depending on what emotions, what role, or whatever you tapped into, and whatever that role really called for. You know what I mean? And sometimes it can affect us, but there are ways we can bring ourselves back and resume normalcy, if you will.
Right.
All right. Excellent.
And
Excellent.
you guys have some very, very interesting answers, and I'm very impressed with each and every one of you. Very impressed. You guys are very intelligent, and I'm happy that you guys joined us today. I
Thank you for having us.
hats off to all of y'all. I'm just woo. I don't know what to say. So
Thank you for having us.
for
Thank you
me,
so much.
I just want to say this. I see in each one of you guys a very powerful gift. And the way all of you conduct yourselves and how you're bringing entertainment is very amazing. You guys have powerful voices, and the energy that I get personally from you guys has changed me and my outlet on entertainment. And I thank all of you guys for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your lives. And
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. Thank you, man.
you're very
Well,
welcome.
beautifully said. Beautifully said, sis.
You know,
Absolutely.
And I had much respect to all the panel on your journey. Many blessings and money, successes on your journey. I know this business is tough, but persevere. You guys got a gift. You got a light. Your voices need to be heard. And this is the time. This is the time. So thank you. I'm humbled and honored to be
Hmm.
with you guys on this panel. Thank you so much for having me.
well, it's definitely an
Hey man,
honor.
if I may chime in real quick, just to kind of piggyback off what the brother just said, this is the time, especially for us, our people, for black people, for us as a whole, as a culture, as content creators. Can't
Yes.
nobody tell our narratives the way we can tell our narratives.
Amen.
Amen.
This is our
Tell
time.
our
Yes.
own story.
That's right. That's right.
This is our time. It has to be. It has to
Mm.
be. It has to be. It has to be. We're able, producers that we have now, and filmmakers, and just young people out there with dreams, man, that are coming up and telling our stories, our heritage, our taking over the stages, and just going out and having that voice. This, my friends, is the time. Keep going, don't give up. And your no, your next no, the next no may turn into a yes. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. I'm 62 years old. That's my testament. That's my testimony. Never give up, man.
Thank you
Never.
so much.
So I know Miss Diggs had some prizes, uh, gifts, prizes, whatever you want to call it. You guys are already a gift in itself.
And
Um,
everybody
I'll let her go
will.
ahead. I'll let Ms. Diggs go ahead and explain. We did have a few games that we wanted to play. Unfortunately, we lost a couple people. Again, like I mentioned earlier, producers, actors, writers, you guys are very busy. Is luckily available to us that we can even catch you on your journeys because you guys are constantly moving. So these are the things that will happen sometimes on the platform. But virtual networking is something that is going to give you guys the ability to grow, expand, connect, and just showcase any and everything that you guys have to offer to the world. And you never know who is watching. You don't know who's going to chime in later. For those who do watch later, Please forgive the technical difficulties. It happens. We are media people. We work in the media. Um, I am a fertile journalist, interviewer, but on different sides of the world. My CEO is doing everything on her end as possible to make this happen. I had to pull a lot of strings for each and every one of you guys, and trust me, the strings were not easy to pull. So please understand, viewers, panelists, the technical difficulties is not something that we specialize in. Not our line of field. So I want to thank my CEO first and foremost
Yeah, we
for
can't control your Wi-Fi now.
right. So however they are getting ready to transpire this next set of the prizes, if they're going to do the little short game, I'm going to pass the mic to Miss Diggs and Mr. Merv, and you guys are in their hands.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. So, in the best interest of time, like I said before, I'm going to make sure that each of you get a prize. But the main prize was actually going to be a feature in the Industry Highlighter magazine. So that's basically your photo and your information or write up as I interview you or what have you. And you get to go a bit deeper than what we did today. Today we know about you, we know what you've done and different things like that. But this particular prize gives you an opportunity to really highlight the projects that you're in, as well as give those who get the article an opportunity to really see who you are, what your talents are, and read about the various things that you have upcoming or whatever. So, long story short, Merv, I think pick the best game. The I don't want to say the shortest one, but the one that would really highlight the acting skill of our actresses and so forth online. And then Merv will actually, am I correct? Merv will judge. Yes, yes. Merv will be the judge of who will win this particular gift. And like I said, all of y'all will get a little something in the mail, but this one is a very, very special feature. And hey, it's valued $1,000 more. So it's on you. And let's see who takes this one home. Go ahead, Merv. Take it away. Kiss it. Keep it short and simple. Go ahead. Where you at?
Because we had a lot of discussion about it, and I think she knows the.
Lynn, you muted somewhere.
We have Merv now.
Okay, you got me? So
Yes.
I was saying, in the interest of time,
Gotcha.
unfortunately, and I deeply apologize, I have to disconnect at this time. But the game can go on because I think Lynn and I have enough discussion to kind of present it. So I'm going to turn this over to Lynn, and she's going to guide you
Thanks,
guys
Merv.
through it. And I apologize that I have to disconnect from this call. But
Unfortunately,
We
I do
thank
as
you for
well.
your time, Merv.
it's my pleasure. And
All
I
righty.
wish you all
Thanks,
Unfortunately,
everybody.
I have to take off as well, everyone.
That's fine.
So what we
I
we
feel
will
you.
do,
I'm with
what we
you,
will
Marcus.
do, considering that the time is short, we're gonna call it a game wrap.
A raffle.
We're gonna call it a
Put their
game wrap.
names in a pot. Pick it up.
We're gonna
Everyone,
go
unfortunately,
ahead,
I have to take off as well.
yeah, because Marcus has to leave. So
Yeah.
we will just go ahead and proceed with Fernando and Felicity.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
No problem.
And we will include Miss Carol Coco Diggs in this short game. So what he was doing was he was actually trying to. Can you hear me, Felicity? Okay. What he was doing was cross acting, sort of he wanted to see the characteristics in each individual. So he was going to do a little skit. I think you were there, Felicity. I don't think you were involved, or Fernando. They did a little actors master class, and it was a quick role play to see you guys get into character. So he came up with this game along with myself because I played it, and we're gonna make it really short, quick, just to see how you come into characters. And Miss Diggs gets to have a little fun real quick.
Kick it.
So basically, you are all going to create a scene, but I'm going to throw a quick twist in it since we don't have all the people now. So we're going to use Fernando is going to give you ladies a role, a skit, and you guys are going to get into that character. See how fast you can get into character, cross acting with one another. And
Oh, I'm
Fernando,
gonna
if
get
you
into
want to
character real fast. Hurry up and turn that skit on, girl.
do. So Fernando, you can also play the producer and you can also be in the scene. Right now, you have the opportunity to display a movie with these two characters. Give them their character and give us a scene.
Oh, so I actually have to pick from like a movie or from an actual project.
No, you can make up your own thing in your head
Oh, so just
because
improv something or
we
whatever.
we will do some little improving to see how well they can cross act, and if you want to be a part of it because you are an actor, jump
Mm,
right on, and we want to see how good this is.
okay.
So, Fernando, you go ahead and give them their improv scene, tell them action, and let your film roll live here on the platform.
Okay. Let's go with, and sometimes I just, do random stuff and random characters, random setting scenarios, whatever. Don't make no damn sense, but that's the beauty of improv. You know what I mean? What can you guys do with it? So, all right, let's go with, um, Ms. Diggs, you're a judge like divorce court, something like that, like Judge Maybelline Ephraim or whatever. But you're at a Dunkin' Donuts. Yep. Felicity, you are bum, 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 a drug dealer going into the Dunkin' Donuts, and you trying to serve, Judge Diggs right here. Just random, just out the blue. But the thing is, you don't know she's a judge. And then to throw another little twist on it, is hella twist. Again, I'm just wild, random, crazy, beauty of improv. You're also trying to shoot your shot.
Okay.
Like,
And
like,
action.
like you trying to spit game.
Okay. Y'all can hear me through Lynn.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Action. And action.
Yes, I'd like to order a cake donut, please, and a cinnamon donut. Matter of fact, what's your special? I think I want to have a dozen.
Excuse me. You can turn speed because you don't only 10 ounce food. And it must be your beauty because it ain't your booty. How you doing? My name is Anna, and I just had to come admire that delicious beauty of yours.
Honey, you must be confused because I don't know what you're talking about. I came here to order a dozen donuts, a half a dozen donuts. I don't rock
Why
like
you
that, sister girl.
in front of me, baby? You beautiful, I'm beautiful. Why we can't get together and do some things?
No, no, no. Um, something must be confused here. Where's your manager?
All right. I understand.
Can I see her?
I'm not your type. That's okay. I'm not your type. But I got some other things to offer just in case you're interested. I got shrooms online. You know, I got flowers. I got
What?
cold. What you need?
What?
I mean, I could just tell by
Oh no,
looking at
honey,
your.
I'm gonna make a call right now. I need to call 911. You must don't know who I am. So
What is you
I come from divorce, baby girl. You must don't know that I have a Juris Doctorates in law. You must don't know that I am here only for donuts.
doing,
And
ma'am?
you really
Thank you
don't
for coming in.
that I serve the my God. So I don't get down like that.
Hallelujah.
But where's your manager? Where's your manager?
I was, ma'am, I was just playing. You said you wanted a dozen of glaze.
Where's your
Did you want
manager?
coffee with
I don't want no donuts now. Where's your manager?
my manager? My manager's not on call right now. I'm sorry, but how about I get you? I
What's
call,
the store number?
the store number is 2118.
You can't get me anything. What's your manager and your store number?
My manager's name.
What?
My manager's name is Clarissa Jones. The store number is 2118, and the corporate number will be on the back of your receipt. Ma'am,
21118.
I apologize. I just want to let
You
you know
need
I
to go back
apologize.
and repent.
Can I please
You
just
need to
let you
go
what
to
your
your
order?
local church and repent. That's what you need to do.
I'll give you 4 free iced coffees, man. Please just forgive me.
I don't want nothing you got. I don't want anything you have. I don't want nothing you got. All I want
I'm
is
just gonna go
justice.
ahead
Yeah.
and give you the manager's number and the store number. The corporate number is on the back of the receipt. I can't do
Oh, I
nothing else
got it. I
for you.
have it all. I have it all.
All
No,
right.
you cannot. No, you cannot. Thank you. Have a blessed
Nice.
day.
I love
Ah.
it.
Okay. Y'all dope. Y'all dope. Y'all dope.
That was amazing.
And especially be put on the spot like that, you know what I mean? Like, with some random quirky, weird, situations and scenarios, you know what I mean? But hey, you never know, you know what I mean? Especially
I
here in
wasn't
Los Angeles.
expecting
Hey, when
that.
in Rome, you know what
Not just the donuts.
I mean? She want
I
more than the
wasn't
donuts.
expecting all that extra. I was like,
Well, the reason why I wanted to uh showcase something like that live and virtual is because it helps people understand how it could be difficult to jump into a character becoming somebody that you're not, and the best part
Hmm.
of doing it is the unexpected. As Miss Diggs was not prepared for what she was saying, but she was able to jump right into character and still keep that Christian
Hmm.
form flowing. And to me, it just lined up perfectly because
But
the
still, even
girl,
in the midst of that, for Miss Diggs and also for Miss, Felicity, Annalise, you know, two qualities and aspects that they possess that a lot of people don't, is that quality of being fearlessness. Sometimes you get a lot of people, they just don't let go or can't let go. You know what I mean? And there's so many different, layers to even just those characters in that setting that they could have went. You know what I mean? But that's just the beauty of it, and they got that quality and that aspect of fearlessness, and everybody don't have that. You know what I mean? So kudos, ladies.
thank you.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
And what is very impressive is that they did not know each other. This
Hmm.
is the first time that they have met, and they were able to trust each other in developing this scene. That's when we
Hmm.
go back to that question about trusting your cast and crew. They
Hmm.
trusted a cast that they never met and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Diggs, for participating.
You're
So,
welcome. So Felicity, go ahead. Well, look, I don't get the prize, so go ahead.
so I am going to go ahead and this is what I think that you guys both stuck around. You're able to stuck around, and I call it a draw between the producer and the actor that they both get the grand prize together as Miss Dig is going to announce that grand prize and that they share that spotlight together since we were having technical difficulties and some people were dropping in and dropping out and they weren't able to play the game to showcase their gifts. And we are going to definitely do another one of these with the same people that were on the panelists to give them the opportunity to play what you guys just played, cross acting. So, Ms. Diggs, if you want to go ahead and announce their prize.
So again, y'all prize will actually be uh y'all prize will be the feature prize. So Felicity, you'll get your spotlight. Fernando, your spotlight. Boom. And
Thank you.
that's gonna be shout out and send your information so that you can send back and we can get going from there. Thank you, thank you. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe ready to our YouTube channel. Search Industry Highlight Magazine up, subscribe, please. And our Instagram at _highlighter. And yeah, make sure you share. And we look forward to just kind of working with you, shining the light some more and going there. Oh, and Lynn's Hat Club that we've started, it's on Facebook. And I think she finger up because she wants to something. But after that, we will be tuning out.
Yes, as everybody know, we have created our hashtag group, IHM, hashtag this, copy that. Um, if you can go in and just introduce yourselves, um, you're open to go on there and do a live. I made sure that you guys can post videos, do anything you want on there that is professional. The hashtag group, we need to try to, as much as possible, you know, conversate in there, get to know each other. Even if I'm not in there, Ms. Diggs is not in there, you guys are open to go into the hashtag group and do that. Um, we will be creating all of you guys your own hashtag. So when we get those hashtags created, we'll all make sure we hashtag each other in each other's hashtags. We want to stay as interactive as possible. That's very important. So that's really all I have to say for now. Just go in, introduce yourself, slap in that hashtag, hashtag us, IHM, hashtag this, copy that. Do your introduction. It can be virtual or you can type it in. You're more than welcome to do what you do to promote yourself in there because that's what we're here for. So if you guys have anything in closing, I am done. I thank you for being here and keep shining, people. Keep shining.
And nothing in
Thank you all
closing. Just
so
thank you
much.
guys for having us, and we're just really humble and grateful and appreciative of the opportunity to, be showcased and to share time, space, energy and intelligent thought. And we appreciate y'all, and y'all just keep doing y'all beautifully and intelligently like y'all been doing, and just keep representing for the culture.
All right. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Felicity,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
And until next week, this time on the platform, we'll be back on your streaming channel. So we look seeing everybody again next week at 1 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard, or 2 o'clock Lynn's time. We'll talk to you soon. Be blessed. Till next